Welcome to the Dr. Reilly Show. I'm your host, Dr. Anissa Reilly. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another evening with the Ask Dr. Reilly Show. My name is Dr. Anissa Reilly, and look who I have sitting next to me. Some of you may know him from Stomp the Yard, and some of you may know him from Scandal. But you know what? I have him here today to know him for who he is behind the scenes, behind the camera, when all the lights are off, and you just want to get to know him. This is Columbus Short. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, it's an honor and a privilege. So this season is themed around the word love, L-O-V-E, love. And the first question that I like to ask my guests is, what does love mean to you?
See, that's an interesting question. I used to think love was one thing, but love is like patient, love is like understanding. Love doesn't take a stand till shit hits the fan. You know what I mean? Love is everything. Love is hard work. You know what I mean? Love is not easy, real love. You know what I mean? Just to love your neighbor, love yourself, love your spouse, your partner, to love anything other than what you were genetically born into takes work, but that's what it is to me.
And it's interesting that you said that because you describe love as an action versus a noun. And I think a lot of people get into the space of just saying, I love you, and there's no action with it.
Right.
Right? So can you tell me about a time where you felt, yeah, I'm loved, or this person loves me?
See, I always, like, as I got older, felt like love always came with conditions. Like, you only love me with conditions. You only love me if I'm doing what you want me to do. Or you only love me if I'm giving you what you want. So, and that came from a young age, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like love always came with conditions. Now, unconditional love, I just started to see, when with my current wife, because she just loved me for who I am. You know what I mean? Not Columbus Short, the actor, not, love me on my worst, love me at my best, the same way, without condition. So that's when I really started to see, like, all right, if you're not loving somebody without conditions, you don't love them.
Now, you said when you were little, that's when you learned about love with conditions. And I think we are shaped by our first experiences with love and first experiences in the home. So can you share us a little bit about your home life and how it came to the place of you saying, you love me because what I could do for you?
Yeah, I mean, like my mom, I mean, your mom's gonna love you, right? But I feel like the action of the love was always a little bit missing, you know what I'm saying? So, I talk about this actually on with Mike Tyson on his hot boxing show, but my mom murdered my dad like 9 weeks before I was born. So I think being raised, she always like saw my dad in me. So it was like, we've always had like some friction that, on my earlier days. But it wasn't until like she started managing me like as a young teen, where it's like, this is now you love me now because because I'm doing something for you. I'm paying all these bills. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping the lights on in here. You know what I'm saying? So it was different. And so every woman after that, I was always keen on, that. And so sometimes I would even test like other relationships. I would do stuff against the grain on purpose. Like, all right, we're gonna see. And as soon as I did something against the grain that wasn't in the control or in the box, that love real people show their ugly faces. You know what I'm saying? So I always kept note of that. So it wasn't until recently that I've seen what unconditional love looked like.
You said something very interesting that made me think about, and I want to tap into it a little bit more around trauma,
Yeah.
right? Around trauma, because I say this a lot, and it happened to me too, that I didn't realize that I needed to deal with my trauma, but I actually thought that I did. But when you get into a relationship, it starts to seep in unhealthy ways.
But most people, like especially African American, well, I think now I won't just say African Americans, but heavy in our culture. We don't we don't even know it's trauma. It's not called trauma.
Yeah.
It's just called take the lick and keep on pushing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sweep it under the rug. We don't talk about it. You know what I mean? And it's just, that starts at a young age. So then you just going through life, putting more heavy ass bricks in your backpack, By the time you like 38, your backpack's so heavy, you can barely walk. You got scoliosis out here. You know what I'm saying? And it's not until you get into an interpersonal relationship where you can see some of those things come up. Triggers. People don't, it's like, and that's why picking a partner that understands your triggers is important, because otherwise people they just wake up and they don't even know they're pressing all the wrong buttons. You know what I mean?
Or they do know what
or they do, because you shared that, right? And once that trauma, that ugly stuff rears its head, it's on us to deal with it. A lot of people don't want to go to therapy. A lot of people don't want to sit down with anybody and really unpack the ugly. A lot of people don't want to unpack the ugly stuff because we weren't raised to sit down with nobody and talk about it. You know what I mean? If so, let's say, for example, and I'm not putting this on you that I know that, but say you were molested, right?
I was actually.
Oh, wow. So in that case, it's not like you just run to your mom or run to somebody and tell them that, right? It's almost like, shut up. And if you do tell them, they're not equipped with the skill sets to even address it. So it's just, it never gets addressed. And so then it's like, you go through life, feeling certain type of way sexually, or certain type of way with intimacy, or having issues with trust, or having issues with a lot of things that go unaddressed. But as soon as you address them, that's the freedom. Once you can get through that, I tell people this all the time. It wasn't until I started unpacking or cleaning out my closet where it was that was room for the universe or God to start putting brand new things in my closet, brand new blessings, brand new, you know what I'm saying? But you got to clean out all that old stuff to get there.
Well, just to let you know, for those of you who don't know, if you haven't watched season 1, I do talk about my story about being molested. And so if you want to figure that one out, just go back and watch season 1. But you talk about your wife who you found this unconditional love with. So can you talk about that love story and how you knew she loved you unconditionally? Because I think a lot of people are in that space of trying to figure that out without having their trauma influence.
It was interesting. So 2009, 8, I got nominated for an NAACP award for Cadillac Records. So my wife at the time was on tour with Beyonce.
Okay.
And so I had this idea of when I get an award, I'm gonna have my family, and I was by myself. So it got the award without any pop, no circumstance. And I went to the after party by myself, and I was walking around, and first of all, she walked me down the red carpet when I got there. But then when we got to the after party, she walked me down the carpet, I mingled, and then when I was leaving, I was like, yo, I just talked to her for a minute. And then I got into the truck, the SUV, and I told the SUV to turn around. I was like, yo, I was gonna be crazy if I didn't get your phone number. So then we exchanged numbers, and at this time, I was me and my wife was separated. So I was we started talking, but when my wife came back from tour, I was like, look, we should stop talking because I'm gonna try to see what's up with this marriage. She was she fell back, but then stuff started getting crazy again, and she was just always, a trusted confidant that I could call, that didn't want nothing from me, that didn't, I could tell the worst stuff to, and she'd be just there to listen. And so then after I went through a whole movie of a crazy moment, she knew everything that was leading up to that, right? She already knew what it was, and I hadn't talked to her in a couple years, and then I was producing a film, and the first person I thought of to do PR on the film was her. So brought her on the film, and we just started working closely together that way. And then, you know, she saw me out here. You know, what I mean, I had so many strange women, and she was always right there. Like, and then finally one day she was just like, "Why haven't you given me a chance?"
Wow.
She was just like, "Why?" She's like, "I see all these chicks, and they're raggedy." For real. She's like, "They're raggedy. You know they're raggedy, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know they're raggedy, but that's what I trust raggedy." You know what I mean? I trusted raggedy. You know, I was comfortable with raggedy. You know what I mean?
That's a word.
So I can do raggedy, but when you look too good to be true, I can't really. And I'm not talking about aesthetic.
Yeah,
I'm talking
exactly
about
what you mean.
yeah, like if you look it's two together, really what's under the hood. So
that's what I told my husband. I told my husband, "You too good to be true. Something's
yeah,
something right.
something raggedy."
Yeah, something.
So then, you know, we started. I was like, you know what, you're right. Started our relationship. She got pregnant, you know, and I didn't want her to be a raggedy chick. So we got married. And it's just been a journey, you know what I mean? Like, she was with me, you know, she was with me when I was hot, but she was with me when I was so not hot, right? When it was not so hot, you know what I mean, to be with Columbus. And I never talk about myself in the third person. That was weird. And so through that, you know, it's like 2 kids later, you know, it's just, you see what, and I've even tried early in our relationship to like run her off. Like, she won't go nowhere.
She said, "He not giving it to me that easy."
Yeah, she won't go nowhere. So I'm like, all right, I finally had to like drop my dukes, you know, figuratively, and accept love. So yeah.
So when you think about her, can we say her name?
Yeah, Ida.
I like her. I just met her. She's like really cool. What is the thing that you like? That's right. Because I had Dame on.
She was
and
raised.
Dame talked about the feet. So we're
Are you talking about aesthetically?
Yeah, aesthetically.
Oh, like I like the Armenian thing. You know what I mean? I like the Armenian vibe.
I see your head. I see
you
it.
know, I like the vibe. And I told her the other day, she was like, I was like, I look from the ground up. I'm not looking at your. So when I first met her, she was like, "So you just talked to me because I had cakes?" I was like, "Yeah, I saw them cakes." I was like, "For sure, I saw that. That was a must." I was like, then I came up and just, you know.
So for everybody that doesn't know what cakes are, can you just explain it to the audience?
Buns. You gotta have buns.
The booty.
You gotta have something back there. You know what I mean? And then you know, it's just that it's like that it's that foreign. It's the foreign vibes. It's a foreign vibe. But Armenians and black people are so culturally close in everything they do.
Yeah, before they go blow it up, right?
Food. You know, they'll have a Bentley in an apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that one. Say that again.
Yeah, they'll have a Bentley living in an apartment. You know what I'm saying? But the difference that I also love was the community. Like, Armenians stick together. Like, you know, anything we need, we're plugged. Like, chiropractor, we got it. You know, auto broker, we got it. Tire man, you got it. Dentist, surgeon, anything you need, lawyer. You know, they stick together, and it's a real community that I think we could learn something from. So, you know, seeing how she was raised, I've never been with a woman that was raised, both parents, the right way, healthy.
Yeah.
You know, with you know, they don't leave their house until they're married. So she was living with her parents until she married me. You know what I mean? That was a rarity. So, you know, just a lot of little things that was like, all right, you know what I mean? She's different.
Okay. I can see when you talk about her, it's like this, your face lights up, your cheeks get a little chunky. So that's a good thing. So you have 2 kids. What are their names? How old are they?
Denzel is 4, Liam is 1.
Okay, and what's special about Denzel and Liam? Because those are 2 like big names.
Well, yeah. So Denzel always, it's funny. Quick story. Denzel, through my whole career, he always little me, like, and it was like,
son.
Yeah, it was always like Denzel little me, like, and I love Denz. Like, he's my favorite actor. You know, I thought we were gonna be like, he was gonna mentor me and do all these things, but it was always like, he was just always that. And so when Denzel was born, I was like, I'm naming him Denzel because now he's my little.
Uh-oh.
And then and then
We have to see that one.
and then Liam. I love the name Liam. It's a cooler way of saying William, but I love the name Liam, and it's just those are two powerful names for two powerful
Actors.
powerful kids.
Yeah, that's great. So let's just get a little something for the audience to know a little bit more about Columbus Shorts. I'm gonna say this, that I have always admired your career. I may say something that is blasphemous. Before Michael B. Jordan, there was Columbus Short in my world, and I'm sure in a whole lot of other people's worlds too. So I just want to say that is what you mean
Noted.
to me. Like,
Noted.
yes, okay, and yeah, be clear. Go back and fact check that one. But so let's talk about Stomp the Yard, because I think when you made Stomp the Yard, that was like a breakout movie for HBCUs, because for a long time HBCUs hadn't gotten shine after Bill Cosby went off the air.
Right.
So after Bill Cosby went off the air, HBCUs, you really didn't know about them, and then comes Stomp the Yard and Drumline. So talk about how that came about and like what really happened with that, and like how it
Well, Will Packer, producer, shout out to Will Packer. He went to FAMU. He was an alpha, so him and Rob Hardy wanted to do this project to show, what it is to step online and what it really is to be a part of a fraternal brotherhood. And for me, I was like, I didn't want to do any dance movies. I was like transitioning from I've always been an actor, but I was making a living choreographing and dancing. So I didn't want to do any dance movies. I was like, I just want to straight act. Like, that's it. They convinced me like this is a good movie. And so I got the movie and I went in. We all went in. We knew when we were out there we were making something special. All the dancers that were in the movie I had already known for years. So now it's like, I'm the lead of the movie. And so DJ, rallying the thetas and all that stuff, it was actually life reflecting art. Me actually rallying guys I knew, like, this has got to be real. Let's do this. Like, we're gonna put and so everybody really put their hearts, their minds, and it was like still to date like one of my favorite movies to make.
I think everybody who watches it, it's very nostalgic. Even if you aren't familiar with fraternities and sororities or that life or HBCU life, you really feel it and understand how it is brother love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we go out, I want to ask a couple of questions so people get to know you. Just basic questions. What's your favorite food?
Mexican food.
Mexican. Okay, that's not the food.
I can't eat it, but like enchiladas. I love enchiladas.
Oh, why can't eat it? You have like a...
Oh, I'm on a meal plan. I got to keep the abs right. You know what I mean?
Y'all,
I got to keep the abs right.
I did a workout.
She got it in though. She did it.
I was like, he crazy. But
She
I did it,
You
right?
did it.
I did it.
You knocked it out.
Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite book to read, or what book can you
My favorite
suggest?
book is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Okay.
The second favorite book is The Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell.
Yes.
Yeah, those are my top two. And maybe Five Agreements too. Miguel Ruiz. That's a good one.
Okay. So go get those.
And my book, short stories,
yes,
out right now.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, my book is one of my favorite books.
Okay, and then you need to put my book on your list as the favorite book.
What's the name of the book?
It's called The 5 Buckets of Leadership, Speaking in the Moment.
Got it. So you go to Amazon, Target, Walmart, go Barnes & Noble online, get my book.
And you go to Amazon.
And I'll get your book.
For mine, it's not in Target, Walmart.
That was a light flex.
You can go to,
That was a light flex. Humble flex.
You go to Amazon and get my book.
Out right now, short stories.
Yes. Okay. And if there's any place in the world you could live, where would that be?
That's a great question. Probably like south of France. South of France, chill, vibes, water, culture, architecture, all of that.
Okay. Well, is there any last words you want to tell our audience about love, about Columbus?
That I love you and you're doing a great job.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
I'm about to cry. Tears. Thank
Keep
you.
up the good work.
I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Columbus Short. I'm Dr. Anissa Reilly, and this is the Ask Dr. Reilly Show. Peace. Columbus Short is crazy.
Huh?
He crazy.
This is something I'll work at right here. That's what they did.
What you doing? Rocky. Yes? Rocky. What happened?
Here you go. Let's go. You want to bring that elbow back to me?
What you gonna do to stay healthy? Ask Dr. Reilly.
This way. There you go. 12. That's 2. Yes. All right, guys. Come on. Come on. Just give me what you can. Give me what you can. So what I'm saying is,
Dr. Action. About that action, Dr. Action.
let's go, buddy. Go. Watch your head. Come on.
Yes! No, I'm quite sure. What's your whole body? I know. I'm talking about no upper body. Oh my God.
See? There you go.
Put your head on the back.
Hey, you got another set. No, you got another set.
Yeah, you can do that too. Just catch it, just.
That ain't working.
Hey, you can do that.
I can do that.
See, there's these variations. Grab it close. Put it closer. Right there on the hump. Yeah, there you go. Come on.
5,
Curl. Go.
6,
1.
7,
2.
8,
Curl it. Bring it up here.
9.
Bring it up. Yeah, that's what you want to bring it. That's the work, Doc. What you mean? That's the work. 5.
Go
Come on.
back 10.
Curl it. Work. Out. You started. I help you.
2.
Yeah.
Your height. Go action!
10. You do 2 more. The right way. Yeah. You got it. Beautiful. Great.
6. You got it.
Back to that one. Yeah, that hurt. You felt that? Let's go, Rock. Lead with your elbows, not your. Lead with your elbows. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Push your elbows back. You feel the difference? Go. Yeah. Bring those elbows back. Yeah, there it is. Now we're working.
I'm gonna cry.
Perfect. Island. You know, Rocky, get on it. Let's go so we can not have to get up.
The sweat is real.
Can I check out like this or they have
Yeah,
like
bend over. Okay.
What'd you say?
No, not slides. You're going like this.
Oh, these are.
Elbows.
Oh, these are.
Push your one out.
Nice.
Yes.
These are. What did you say?
You gonna feel this for days. You go camp next week?
This is your last workout.
No. All right.
All right, ladies. Rocky, you got the weights?
Here we go. Last set. Here we go. Here we go.
Here, here you
All
go.
right.
Nice, man. Nice. All the way down. Let me go down. Nice. Let me go down.
3.
How many is that?
Oh!
What am I doing?
Oh!
I thought we already did. No, we did 4. Yeah, we did 4. Are we good now?
Woo!
1, 2,
10.
10.
1.
2. Count it.
2. Okay, that was it. Last set. Yeah.
5, 6.
Oh my goodness. This is serious work. Sweat is real. Workout is real. Try to get these
Nice.
guns
That's it.
together.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Miracle Morning put me on this path of making sure I'm exercising every morning. Breathe. All right, you see it happening. Ask Dr. Reilly. Like, subscribe, make sure you comment. How are you exercising to stay fit? All right? Live your best life. Triumph and trauma. Oh my gosh.